Hi everyone, I hope you're good guys and welcome to a new video. So today we're gonna talk about the Jomox Mbase11. So you might wonder again, why would I review a very old device which is like 10 years old? And for the same reason as his little cousin, the Vermona kick lancer, which is right here in the corner. If you haven't checked, I made a review as well. I put the link in the description and it will appear in the right top corner. As a techno producer, I'm kind of always obsessed with kick drum and always trying to find new way to create them. And even though I'm more like in the box guy, you know that I love Ableton, I must reckon that when it's about a kick drum, analog kick drum, it's usually way much more punchier than what you can get in the software. You might get something similar in the software, but it would take you longer to get there than with a machine like this. And the thing is as well, the way how this analog machine react when you add effect is just crazy compared to a software. But more on that later. So Jomox have a good reputation about making super punchy kick drum, and I wanted to find out by myself. There is some review on the internet, but it's most of the time the raw signal without any effect, which was probably fine 10 years ago, but nowadays to kind of compete with nowadays tracks, you need to obviously put some effect on it. So it's quite hard to see the real potential of the machine just without any effect. So that's why we're gonna show you around a little bit the machine without any processing and creating a kick from scratch, explaining you each parameter, and then after I will add some effect and I will always show you different type of kick I've created with. As usual, the effect tracks I will use for this machine will be available for free. I will put the link in the description. And that's the same with the kick lancer. I've introduced as well a couple of free techno kick I've made with the machine, and I will also go through some of my presets and we will compare with effect and without effect, just to really get you an idea of how this machine sounds and if it's still sounding good nowadays, even though it's like more than 10 years old. So we're gonna try to find out that today. So I wanted to make this video same that with the kick lancer, because there is probably people like me who are like a little bit hesitating, should I get that or no, because it just makes kicks, it's quite old. On the other hand as well, it's quite pricey for something with just one job. So is it really worth it to get it, and can I still use it in nowadays production? So yeah, I will answer all of that as well today. Yeah, let's have a look at it. One of the main thing about hardware, I don't buy that much hardware, but one of my main condition, it has to be one knob per function. Well, you can see here that we have a kind of a little problem, as we have like around, I would say 20 parameter, and we have just two knobs. And even though both are controlling the same, you cannot really control two different parameters. But I decided still to get it because I knew I could assign a controller. And let me introduce you my little friend Pitstep. So that just makes my life easier. I've now assigned each parameter to a knob from my Pitstep, and this way I can just turn, and you can see here is tune, it's recognizing the tune. And for example, if I go to pulse here, you will see it's changing the pulse here. So I'm gonna use this to manipulate because it's way much faster than go inside in each category. And you see you have this red as well that you have to go up, and it's going like this, then it's going back to normal. To be honest, without any controller, it's kind of a bit pain in the ass to program, especially you have some parameter, like I would say the GK and the compressor. I like to tweak them together. They are really working together, and so having just one knob going on one, tweaking, going on the other, tweaking again, it's kind of pain in the ass. But yeah, on the other hand, the good thing with this machine is that you can have presets. So you have a play button like the Vermona where you can. So I made a couple of presets. Let's go from scratch. So yeah, let's have a look at all the parameters, and I will build the kick from that. So I'm just gonna press play in Ableton. So you have these first things. I'm gonna bring down some of the parameter to 0. Okay, so like this we have something more or less correct. Bring the volume up. So first things is tune. So tune is basically, it's not like tuning like a semitone +1 +2, or it's more about the pitch envelope. So you know a kick drum, it's basically a sine wave or any waveform that you will apply a very strong pitch envelope. So that's controlling the amount of the pitch envelope. If you want to find out more about kick drum, I've explained it a bit more in detail in the kick lancer video. So I'm gonna put a bit more GK and a bit more down the compression. So yeah, tune. You can hear you have this pitch modulation coming a bit more. So I like usually something like this is fine. And then you can select the pitch. So that's gonna be your root note. So you can go deep, can get a bit punchier. So this I recommend to have you analyzer or the tuner from Ableton. All right, then you can adjust your decay. So here it's already up to you, obviously, how you adjust your decay, but I really recommend to play with the compression and the decay. And you will see usually I like to put my compression around 50 and then after tweak the decay and see how I want my body of the kick. So I'm gonna go here, go at 50, and then after adjusting, yeah, let's get something sharp. I don't want a too long kick. Now we got harmonic, which is gonna change from a sine wave kind to a more like a square kind of waveform. This is more like kind of 808, and then you get something more like which is kind of sounding a bit distorted. So I like to go a little bit in the middle, like not too distorted but not too clean neither. Then you have pulse noise attack, and you have as well the gate. They are all more or less related, so I'm just gonna bring everything down to 0. So you can see when I bring the attack, it's kind of bringing the click. So the click is the pulse. The more I put the pulse, the more I have the click. You have noise, which add obviously a bit of noise, but noise is related to the metal noise as well. So you can get different kind of metal noise. Yeah, I like this one. And then you can adjust the attack if you don't want to have too much attack. But I will recommend as well to play with the gate time in the same time. So basically, I like to play with the gate time, the tune as well, gonna have the influence, and so obviously the amount of the attack. But yeah, all of these three are kind of connected, and so if you change a little bit this and a little bit that, it can react differently. So let's play with to see if I add a bit more maybe. So here you can hear, I hear well the click, but as much as I go down, you start to don't hear it, and here at 0 you don't hear it at all. But like somewhere here it's nice. Maybe here, you know, you hear it a little bit but not too much. And then as well, so again, see if you want more like a kind of classic 808 kick, kind of reduce the decay, but add something like this. So then you have a cue. I might have actually down from the beginning, I forgot, but which is kind of applying a kind of a low pass filter or a high shelf, I would say, like to reduce the high frequency. So I will leave it down. So if this is too up, kind of hard to hear the attack and the noise obviously. Like this is fine. So then you have the volume, and then you have the LFO. So you can apply LFO basically to your kick. So you can either use it as a kind of weird modulation, or you can use it as an extra modulation for your pitch. Like for example, see like as envelope. So you can select here. I cannot choose the wave, but if you select the wave so down. So you go here, it's so down, and you apply here LFO intensity. So let me play. Then after you can, not something too fast. You can get weird effect like this, kind of creating offbeat things. You can see you got a weird vibe, and the thing is, you have this LFO one shot here, so you need to press up and play, then you go down. It's assigned as well to the macro, but it doesn't really work because I think it's just like two values. So it just plays one time the waveform. So you saw up is just playing one time, so it's like more like an envelope rather than here. If you put it in off, it plays like a normal LFO, like cycling, and if you play in one shot, it's more like playing like just one envelope with the start and the end and not looping. And yeah, then after you can test out how much you want. Alright. Then you can choose, well, obviously the MIDI channel, and then you have split mode. So basically when it's in SM1, it's just playing when you press C1, but if you bring SM2, and depending on which note you press, on Ableton I can press different notes and it's kind of getting different things. But one cool thing you can do, if you go to pitch mode, you have linear, but you have as well SEM, which is, I guess, semitone. And now what you can do is you can play over 3 semitone. So I think it's from C2 to C5. You can see in Ableton. So that can be great to kind of create a melody. Or if you have tom as well, because you can create tom obviously with that, that can be great. So now let's see how the kick sound with some effects. I will put the effect chain in the description, you can grab it. So that's without, and that's with. And then let me show you other presets I've made, for example. And yeah, one thing is weird because basically the split mode and the pitch mode, it's not per preset, it's as the overall machine. So you could hear was like sounding weird, but right. For example, that is a kick I've made without effect. Effect, that is with it. You see, for the better than this one, it doesn't sound wow, but then when you add effect, it's like day and night. So obviously it's the same with software. Since you tell me like, oh, if it's raw and it doesn't sound that punchy and raw, but the way that the machine reacts, for me, it's crazy to compare to a software. Get this punch, it's hard to get this kind of punch with a software. Then after, one thing I like to do is, for example, I will select the effect chain and then I will start to create some kick with this effect chain activated. And then when I've created a couple of kicks and I record it and I feel like, okay, I don't have any more inspiration, or what I will do is I will change my effect chain, maybe add some new device, maybe remove some, and then start it over again, and your kick and your machine will react completely different. So you will create again more new kick. And I do that. It can happen like if one day I say, okay, I'm gonna do kick today, I will change like 5-6 times my effect chain, and like this I create like, let's say, a 30 kick, and from that after the day after, I re-listen and I pick up the best one. And so here is what I've done. I have in Ableton here kick, so here is with a rumble. With a rumble, but so all of that has been created with the same audio effect chain and the Mbase. And all these kits will be available for free, link in the description. It's coming together with the effect chain for the Mbase. So it gave you an idea of the potential of the machine and how it sounds with some effects, and if you think it's worth it for you to invest on it or no. So in my point of view, it's like, obviously you can hear it is kind of a raw kick, punchy raw kick analogy. So sometimes I will use it like this raw because I like how it sounds like it's raw, but I can decide to layer it as well with a percussion or whatever if I feel like to add different tone or a bit more character. So same done with the kick lance, even if they are both old machine, they are still sounding good today. So here again, in terms of price, expensive. But if you think about, if you had bought this machine 10 years ago and you will probably still be using it in 10 years, it's like a 20 years investment. So which is like, you know, I don't know, it's like £200. You pay £10 per year, so it's pretty cheap if you think that way. I mean, to be fair, I regret I haven't bought it before, you know, because I'm more like in the box guys. But day I want to make kick, I just plug this one, I plug the kick lance, and here we go for the day. The whole day I'm making kicks, and yeah, that's sounding pretty good. Like, the thing is really easy to get something good when you know a little bit how kicks work, and once you start to use a little bit the machine and get your head around, you can easily know what you have to tweak to make this kind of kick or this kind of kick. So yeah, it's old, but for me it's gold. It's definitely worth the price. I recommend it. And yeah, I hope you like this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and see you soon, guys. Bye bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe.